Good morning. Question, are you a biblical Christian? I hope so, but don't be too quick to answer. Allow me to define what I mean by biblical Christian. Maybe my question would be posed better if I ask you instead, what percentage of the time are you a biblical Christian? I'm going to guess you probably don't know because you've probably never thought about it that way. At least that's the story I'm going with. Now, I'd like to say, in my case, that all of the time I do, but I know sadly that's not true. Not for every thought, word, and action, unfortunately. I do know my faith is based on solid biblical truths regarding lots of things like salvation, sanctification, redemption, grace, mercy, heaven and hell, God's sovereignty, character, immutability, holiness, and the Trinity, and much more. But here's the rub. Do I hold every thought up to biblical standards? Does every decision I make align with biblical principles? Do my actions uphold the goal of loving God and others? Do I allow the Holy Spirit total control over everything? Sadly, the answer again is no. I want to, but I too often fall short. Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 5, verses 15 and 16, admonishes us when he says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is." He then follows it up with a few things we are not to do. Now, he has other more comprehensive lists of not to do things in his epistles, and they aren't hard to find. My point today is this, and it's simple. As believers in Jesus Christ, we should commit all of our lives to living based on biblical instructions and prohibitions, as he says in Galatians 5:19 and 20. The acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity and debauchery, idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions, and envy. My goodness, what a list. Now, as you know, we were born as sinners, and the temptations to sin occur daily. That's why God sent the Holy Spirit to help us be biblical Christians in everything we think, say, and do. I pray this message will help us become 100% aware and to seek the Bible and the Spirit in every aspect of our lives, as always for His glory and for the benefit of others. Have a great week. Want to dig deeper on this topic? If so, check out our special Dig Deeper study for this video. Visit our website at lifemarkministries.org.